All right, Milwaukee in the truck, and I'm breaking my streak of doing it all live because Milwaukee is my worst track. I don't know. Real ones know this. I don't know how you would know this besides really old Milwaukee videos where I talk about how much I suck at Milwaukee. But yeah, so 14 to 1, 0.57. That's what I've kind of been playing around with. I'm just gonna, dude, 43 attempts, and I've finally got one that I'm happy with. So don't worry about run up too much. You just got to get a good corner leading up to it. I just kind of start a bit wide. We'll get into more of like how to approach these corners because they're super duper weird. So just know that I'm just kind of trying to straighten this out right here. Kind of let the car slide up to the wall without letting go of too much throttle. So getting into turn one, I am basically turning in. I don't really have a marker, to be quite honest with you. I guess around the Potawatomi right here. If that kind of lines up with this, and then I aim at the barrels right here. I get to the yellow line early, and I try to barely either clip or barely miss this yellow curb right here. And the only way you're gonna clip or barely miss the yellow curb is if you're aiming for these barrels and you're like driving down into it. Okay. And then from here we're doing a diamond, but it's like you have to stay within the confines of this one lane right here. So like I don't want my right sides to leave this lane. And so I'm just dragging my brake. At first I was only doing brake drags, but I found a little bit more speed and a little bit heavier brake around that 20-25. And then can transition to the throttle when you get the weight shift. So it's very easy to see the weight shift here. We're sliding up, not adding really any steering, and then it comes down. So that's the weight shift. Once you get this weight shift right here, we transition to 3/4, 2/3 throttle, and immediately come back on the wheel about half. And this isn't something you have to think about per se. It's just something that you have to let the force feedback guide you. You don't want to be holding your wheel as you're getting on the throttle here. You're spun, period. You just got to let your force feedback take the wheel here. And then even on exit 2, you're like, dang, that's crazy. But basically from here, I did have to do a little bit of correction here because I was almost spinning out. But you just can't fight the wheel from the entire second half of the corner. You got to like trust the throttle to rotate your rear and just let the force feedback guide you out the corner. Three and four, a little bit more straightforward of a corner. I'm basically arcing my car just slightly, trying to get down to the grass about where this service road ends and just basically paint the white. And then if you can do that, once you get to this little outcrop right here, you start to get hard on the throttle around the outcrop, and then again, let the force feedback finish the corner for you. So a lot more straightforward than 1 and 2. We're not doing a big diamond. We're just getting a late turn in, I guess around Toyota. I am braking more into this corner because I'm carrying a little bit more speed. See how I'm up to like 30, but I have to be dragging by the time I'm getting my rotation. Then partial throttle until we get to really the end of this service road, and then full throttle and let the force feedback finish the corner for you. You're gonna spin so much if you're fighting your force feedback on the exit of the corner. And you're like, well, wait, I need to finish the corner and I need to turn more. Well, you got to put yourself into a position where you are not turning more on the exit of the corner. Like, you need your angle to be established by the time you're full throttle. Which is like, how is that possible? It's because you can... Oops, overdrove that. You can get your rear rotating in a way where you can just hold that steering wheel like that and it'll finish the corner for you. There's no real like difference between the qual and race line in my opinion. It's just getting it really good. Looks like the track temp is dipping a little bit, which is why lap times are getting a little better. So if you're aiming for a lap time, just know that it might be faster or slower than this just because of how it goes. That's so much smoother, and it's going to end up being faster, but I'm telling you, it's all track temp there. I'm driving pretty smooth. Oh man, I should have let the track cool down a little more, than I would have had a more of a impressive qual lap for you guys. But I guess these are just as good too in terms of examples. Didn't quite stick to that, overslowed. See how I'm just kind of letting the force feedback finish the corner? It's a good lap there, almost a 0.1. Easier entry as your tires get older is going to help you out a lot. But if you get a really shallow entry, you'll fall into the trap of using too much wheel. So setting up wider will help you get into the routine of not using too much wheel. And then let in the force feedback finish. Just gotta trust it. Look at that, I'm a Milwaukee pro now. Not my worst track. I think my real worst track is Concord. Never could figure that place out. Oh, I'm really bad at Rockingham too. Relatively speaking. This is all relatively speaking, of course. But those are my big struggle tracks. You just gotta almost let go of your steering wheel on exit here. You just gotta let the force feedback tell you where the car's going, and if it's telling you to go into the wall, gotta get back out of the throttle. That's kind of the big thing there. Bit of a right front burner, so you maybe want to back out of your entries a little more to preserve that. But anyways, thank you all for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day. Hope to see you all on the track.